Greetings and salutations, this is Imperator Vespasian, bringing you yet more demons for our Slaaneshic army. And we've nearly got the lot now, we're doing quite well with this. These are Fiends of Slaanesh. And many years ago, these was the first demons I ever bought when I was a very small boy. Well, relatively small, back in the 1980s. The first demon brought out by, one of the first demons brought out by Games Workshop was the Fiend, and it was just like this. It had little feet, backwards feet and little head and everything. It was about that big, about up to there. It wasn't actually very big, but everything you see here is pretty much what was on that, but bigger and better. These models are absolutely brilliant. I love these. They are a pain to put together. They really are annoying to put together, but once you put them together, they look cool. They look brilliant. Painting them is also quite awkward too, because there's bits everywhere. So I found it easier to paint them without the heads or the arms on. So I actually painted the whole model without the head or the arms on, because I kept getting in the way, and then I painted them arms and head separate, and then I stuck them on at the end. So that's just a tip for anyone out there painting them. It's much easier to do it that way. I also put them on a metal rod to paint them easier as well. So these are an elite choice in your Slaaneshic army. You don't get much in the way of elites for Slaanesh, or not at the moment anyway. And they're not expensive either, not compared to demonettes, which are quite expensive. Demonettes are a unit of 10 demonettes is actually 2.5 times more expensive than these in points. So these are actually a really cheap choice, and it's odd because they're really good. So a standard Fiend will move 14 inches. That's the same speed as the Chariot. So it's quite fast. Weapon skill of 3+, which is, yeah, okay, yeah. Strength of 4, which is not very good. Toughness of 4, which is, yeah, rubbish. Wounds of 4, which is awesome, since they take a lot of killing to take these guys down, but with toughness of 4 it's not going to be hard to take them down, not with weapons fire anyway. But they do get 4 attacks, and that is the good bit. They get 4 attacks going in. They are demons of Slaanesh, therefore they get to attack first. You get 4 attacks when you're attacking first, it's great. No armour whatsoever, or armour 6+, which is basically no armour whatsoever. But they are armed with dissecting claws. Now this is interesting because even though it's strength 4, they do 2 damage. And if you get a 6 to damage, a 6 to hit, you get a -4 AP. So you can rip straight through Space Marine armour. And unlike the demonettes who can rip through Space Marine armour with the same weapon, these guys are strength 4. So you need a 4 to kill a Space Marine. That's pretty good. That's actually really good going. These are good. These are good figures. It also gets an additional attack from its whipping tail or vicious tail, which is a strength 4 weapon as well. But it's -3 AP, D3 damage. So the tail it has can do D3 damage. So you can take down with a -3. You can take down a Primaris Marine in one go. That's pretty good. I like things that can kill Primaris Marines. That's the main thing. Sadly, the Primaris Marines being killed by these guys are mine. But they might be the sidekicks. The sidekick also has Primaris, so yeah. So we're actually on the receiving end of this. But if I were playing this army, I'd be very happy with it. Again, with the Chariot, get it in first. Don't have any Slaanesh troops in reserve or sort of hanging around the battlefield waiting for the moment to attack. Get in there, charge, get forwards, get your troops moving. Slaanesh is not an army to hang around. You need to get into the enemy as quickly as possible. Do not mess about. That's the important thing about Slaanesh. Right, what have we got? We've got a Disruptive Song. Now these creatures have a Disruptive Song, which is enemy psychers within 12 inches. You get the same with the Enrapturus, anything within 24 inches it affects them. They get a -1 to their resultant psychic test roll. So if they do a psychic test, or they do casting a psychic power, they get a -1 to the roll. That's pretty good, especially if they're trying to summon something really powerful, like one of those doom bolts or something. which can be very annoying to large armies like Slaanesh, who have got large numbers of figures, and you can fire a beam straight through them and every single figure it hits, it kills. It gives a mortal wound toll, then you need to stop that sort of thing happening, and giving it a -1 is good. It's good. Especially if you've got an Enrapturus, because the Enrapturus will put them over to the perils of the warp as well, so it's even better. They also have Sporific Musk, apparently. We'll come on to this. That's enemy within 1 inch cannot fall back. Really? Is that true? That's a weird rule. Enemy within 1 inch cannot fall back. I'm going to have to read that one up. That sounds a bit weird. Okay, so I'm not even sure what that means. Oh well, it's not my army. I'm just reading the card. Do you know what that means?
No idea, or maybe it just means that I get to recrawl for longer.
You get to recrawl for longer. Oh, I get it, yeah. So you keep them in combat. And
yeah, so they can't fall back so I can kill more.
And if you get a follow, so if you beat them in combat, they can't fall back, so you do follow, you trample them to death. Right, I get it. Right, so instead of falling back, they would be killed by an advanced move. Right, actually that makes sense. So yeah, that's actually quite cool. Also, given that they move 14 inches, I would guess they'd be able to overrun anything falling back anyway in the rules. Because I know you fall back on a dice, but given that these are so fast, they would probably trample anything that tried to run away. So, alright, that makes sense. So I look forward to seeing you play them then. Yeah, so that's interesting. That's a good one. As I said, not expensive. Cheap on points. Of course, the models themselves are quite expensive, so it probably costs a lot to fill that out. But yeah, this is quite good. I'm really liking these figures. Not looking forward to facing them in battle. I haven't fought these guys before because they've only just been finished, so we haven't been able to fight them before. So looking forward to that. Tactic-wise, if you're using them, I would suggest, as I said, get in there, charge. If you're Slaanesh, don't hang about. Just like Khorne. With Khorne, nothing Khorne has is hanging about. Get in there. If you're demons, get in there. Maybe not so much Tzeentch. Tzeentch can mess around. They can take the time, goad the enemy and be annoying. Black Legion, you bring up your heavy guns. If you're playing Black Legion, heavy guns every time. Create a gun line, take them down with a gun line. Nurgle, not so much. Nurgle have a gun line that move. So yeah, ignore that tactic. Anyway, so yeah, if you are playing Slaanesh, charge, get in there, get into combat. Don't be scared of who you're going up against. These guys can take down Primaris, right, quite easily. These guys, each one can take down a Primaris Marines, plus your other attacks on top of it. It's going to be great. You're just going to do so much damage. So thank you very much for watching the video. Please leave a like in the like section. Leave a comment and all the other stuff you do. And thank you very much for watching. This has been Imperator Vespasian. Thank you and goodbye.